All right, I think I'm live. Well, this is for the people that are tuning in for me when when you don't catch me live. These are people watching on the replay. I just want to say hi and thank you for watching. It'd be nice to have you here when it's live. Um, I think that it would just be cool, to have as many people here as possible. But I understand that like a lot of people, they um, they have to they have other things to do. They have different times they go to work, or they listen on the way to work, or they listen at other times or whatever during the day. They wake up at different hours. I have subscribers, they're in a lot of different countries, and so I know it's hard to watch. I the views have been going up. I remember used to get a lot more views than we're getting now. But hopefully, if like we can, if I could start doing some better shows, maybe there'll be good ones to where we could share them with loved ones or whatever. And I'll try to like be as encouraging as I can, to really have a message of like, I want to bring out that message of forgiveness. I want to have that spirit of forgiveness. I want to have the spirit of salvation for people. um, it's just, hey, how you doing, AJ Blunt? Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, I know. You know, I know what happened, and you know what? It's it's hard to like get involved with all that right now, but I like to get to the bottom of everything, and find out what's going on. I will say that AJ has been a very loyal, good friend of mine. So, but anyway, so uh, like what I wanted to get into today, right, is uh, do you know like when I don't know if you have been in these flat earth like channels where you're watching the flat earth stuff, and then like you'll leave a comment like, yeah man, that's cool, how you explain that, blah blah blah. And there'll always be like that troll guy in there. It's almost like they work for, that's like their job, is to like, ask you for evidence for the earth and all this stuff, right? And no matter how much evidence you bring them, right, you could pile it up, right? And um they always say like, "Oh, well, where's your evidence?" And it's crazy, right? I don't know if you could relate to this, AJ, but so I was in there. This is the point why I was bringing it up, right? And the reason I brought it up is because this guy was saying, "Oh, look, good servant. He believes that the Bible's literally true, and that means that we're a product of incest, basically, is what he said." And what he doesn't understand, right, as a person that believes in evolution, right, he thinks that number one, life started with lightning hitting a puddle. You know what I mean? Number one. But number two, uh, instead of all the people coming from two people, which is what I believe, right? He's saying that everything, plants, animals, people, everything came from the same self-replicating cell. Like that's like super incest. That's like so much incest, right? Including animals, right? I mean, it's unbelievable what they believe, right? And it's just what boggles me, man, is that there's absolutely no evidence for how the world started, right? For them, right? There's no evidence for how life started, right? And what bothers me is that, okay, let's say that the Big Bang happened, right? Let's give them that. Let's give them that the space was all here, right? for things to be created in, right? So let's say we'll give them all that, right? We'll give them the Big Bang, all the material blasted out of nothing, right? Okay, we'll give them that, right? Then we'll give them the rock, right? This rock flying around, right? There's a rock flying around space at breakneck speeds, right? And then a rain cloud, right? A rain cloud had to somehow hover above this rock in a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr, right? And have enough condensation in it, right, to not just go poof, but to rain on the rock, right? Then it had to make some kind of mud. Then lightning, I don't know where that came from, out of the cloud, I guess, right? In the vacuum, hovering over a flying rock, right? And so, not only is there no proof, right, for that, or evidence, right? It's just not even reasonable to even believe that. And here's the thing, right? There are brilliant people with a lot of letters after their name, doctors, whatever, right? PhDs, that not only believe this, but they have a degree, right? A doctorate degree in explaining this entire process, right? And not only is there people with a degree in that, right? Or at least they have the biology to study the animals, the plants, the people, right? At least they have that, right? Which they can't prove their theory, but at least they have that to look at under a microscope. On top of all that, there is an astrophysicist, which is even more theoretical, right? And then they have astrobiologists. An astrobiologist is someone who studies evolution that occurs on other planets. And that is just absurd at this point, right? There are people willing to believe some kind of Star Wars type fantasy and go to school and pay, go into debt almost $1 million, right? To learn it, right? All to avoid the belief that there's a God out there, right? That doesn't want to punish you, that doesn't want to hurt you in any way, right? Of course, he established rules. We couldn't follow them. But instead of punishing us and, if we can't get right, the punishment was supposed to be death, right? You sin, you will surely die. Instead of holding us accountable, he comes down in a human form, lives sinless for 30 years, heals people, walks on water, right? All these things less absurd than the Big Bang, right, to believe in. Plus there's evidence of these things, as in historical records and people witnessing these events, right? So many healings and miracles, they couldn't even fit them into books. That's how many they said Jesus did. And we have 4 accounts from 4 different people, 4 gospels, right, of this history, plus outside non-canon history that Jesus was real. He didn't hold us accountable for our sins and want us to go to want us to be executed. He took our punishment so that if we have faith in him, right, and confess him as Lord, we're in a grace period where we all get to go to heaven, right? And so if that is such a horrible thing for people to want to believe in, that they have to believe in something far worse than Star Wars, this Big Bang and this evolution and all this, right? If they got to believe in this stuff, right, and study it and say that it's real and tell our children that it's real and brainwash everyone in the world to where my own mother won't even listen to reason, right? She won't listen to me. I'm her son. It's lined up spiritually right. I don't lie to her, right? She knows I'm a good person, right? She knows that I love her, right? Good by human standards, right? And the brainwashing is so hard that I can't even get my own mother to listen to it. Now thank God that she believes in Jesus, right? And that by grace she's saved, right? But I know that we all have a family member in our lives that have been, of course, everybody's been brainwashed, including us, right? Have been brainwashed, right? To the point where we can't help them. How are we going to help them? You know, we have a friend possibly that we've been planting seeds for years, but they don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. They don't even want to entertain a 1 hour video that has everything in there. In fact, I had one person, right, watch that Taboo Conspiracy Non-Ball Believer, right? And one person agreed to watch it. They got 48 minutes into it, right? And they were a flat earther. That's how powerful that video was, right? I mean, it's obvious, right? It's obvious once you snap out of the brainwashing. These aren't hard things to know for yourself. We're obviously not moving. There's absolutely, if you understand motion at all, right? We're going 11 different, what is it, 8 different orbital motions, 11 different vectors, right? Like all this built-in acceleration, right? For what? That my pictures that are barely leaning on my mantle, that have been there for 8 years or 9 years, haven't never moved. I have a pendulum that was on my desk that didn't move for 7 years, right? It's crazy, right? It's just crazy. And here's what we get out of it, right? This is what we get out of it. If we believe in the truth, right? Starting with the earth, then with evolution, right? Then with the Bible, God, Jesus, right? All of it, right? If we believe in that, right? Hey, Seeking Starwater. Hey, HM. I'm glad you guys are here. If we believe in all this stuff, right? And the truth, right? And pass it on to children, right? Do you know how many people would be saved? Do you know how many people would benefit worldwide if all we did was stop rejecting the truth, right? There wouldn't be anybody that would start off with a disadvantage as far as believing in Jesus. There wouldn't be any confusion over gender roles. There wouldn't be any confusion over the shape of the earth. There wouldn't be any confusion over where we came from, right? All these different things, right? That over the years, right, were perverted and preached about. Even the church is infiltrated, right? You think, well, if I don't believe in this science, I can run to this church and I'll be saved. Even the churches are infiltrated, right? Where we're getting all these different, doctrines, right? And now it's even worse with the internet, right? Someone reads half a verse and, they develop a doctrine on that, and then, they have a platform to do whatever they want. And of course, lies, they get promoted faster than the truth, right? And it's getting to the point where if you believe in the truth, you are in the minority. And not only are we in the minority, but they hate us. They hate us. All we're telling them is the truth that will benefit them, right? Hey, let me tell you the truth about where you live. Let me tell you the truth that God created a place specifically for you, right? With you in mind, right? Water wasn't something that we discovered and said, oh, I think we can drink this. Water was something created specifically for our bodies by God, We don't need to add anything to it or put any flavor on it. If it's made for our body, right? Everything here. If we want something sweet, there's fruit that grows on trees. It's instantly edible, And what's crazy to me, right, is that we go through these phases now, right, where the truth is so uncomfortable that we'll reject part of the truth. Even being truthers, there'll be something that's a little too uncomfortable, and we'll kind of reject that. But when we reject the truth, we perpetuate that, right? And so I used to say to a lot of people, right, oh, okay, it's not a salvation issue, let's just focus on Jesus and and let's get these groups bigger or whatever. And sure, yeah, I'll have more people in the chat, right? And it'll be a nice wide, road for people to come down, right? Okay, yeah, everything is peachy. Yes, I'll listen to your politics. I'll do this as long as we believe in Jesus. Everything is a discussion, you know. And now it's like here it is, right? The only reason why we know the difference between right and wrong is because God defined it originally, right? And and it's when Adam and Eve eat from the tree of life, right? And start defining right and wrong for themselves, right? No matter how you look at what happened in the garden, what sin that was, right? But what started was over and over again, the world redefines what's right and wrong, what's real and what's not real, right? To the point now where everything is covered in lies. Everything. Everything is covered in lies. Everything is a lie. Even truthers that we go to, right? That we trust, right? That are at least telling the truth about some stuff, right? We catch them lying about other stuff, right? Or I know people they're fantastic flat earthers with amazing material that are outspoken anti-Jesus people, you know? Yeah, do I want to support their flat earth work? Yeah, but is it attached to all that? Yeah. And that sucks, right? There should be a truther should accept all the truth. That's why when Jesus was talking, right, many times, right, he would say, verily, verily, right? Really, really, truthfully, truthfully, this is for real, what I'm telling you, right? He was like the world's best truther, right? And he told the truth no matter how it made him look, right? No matter what happened to him, no matter how people felt about him, no matter how all the crowds of people that were there for the healings, if they wanted to walk away, right, because he was telling the truth and the truth hurts, well, then that's the way it is. But to us, right, to the people that, and I don't know why I'm one of these people. I don't even deserve to go to heaven, right? I don't even, it embarrasses me to even think that I'm qualified to go because, it's all because of Jesus, right? I don't know why I'm one of these few people that when I hear preaching the truth and preaching against TV and fun and all that, I'm like, oh yeah, preach it, baby. I don't know why that's honey to my ears. I don't know why I love God so much that I'm willing to give up everything, and I don't know why I'm like that. It happened to me. It's more something that happened to me than something that I worked for to get. I don't deserve to be one of these people that can't be deceived anymore. You know, like when the man of sin appears, right, and all these deceptions come out, right, I'm not going to be fooled, right? And I don't know why, right? I know I have a hunger for learning. I know that I always kind of stuck out and always kind of was more of a critical thinker than other people, right? I knew that, right? But I don't do anything special, right? I might be above average at a few things, right? But there's nothing special about me. And I'm so grateful. I mean, imagine this, right? God said that even the very elect in the last days would be deceived if that were possible, right? Well, it leads you to think that there's the deceivers that know the truth. There's the deceived that don't know, right? And there's the very elect. It makes you think that there's three. Yeah, okay, so 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, then those are elect people, right? They get God's seal, right? Or however you look at that, right? But I definitely feel like I'm chosen in some way, right? Just like you guys. I relate to you guys, right? Whatever's happening to me is happening to you guys too, right? Where you see the whole truth. And not only are you that you guys can see the truth like truthers, flat earth and news and Freemason stuff and all this other stuff. Not only can you see that, right? But you're able to see it because some people, even if you prove something to them, they reject it anyway. There's people that aren't even able to hear the truth. It triggers them in some kind of way, where they almost act like a child, And I don't know how we ended up being one of these people, you know? Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is that people um people ridicule us, and we're kind of lonely out there, and some of us have to isolate, and some of us end up in chats where we get abused, or some of us end up in chats where people are against our beliefs, right? I mean, I hung out in some chats that were, I was really a friend to people, and I was treated very badly recently by, you know, I all I said was praise Jesus for His sacrifice and grace. I got threatened, you know, and it's like, yeah, we are in a minority that's going to be threatened, right? We're in a minority that's going to be hated, right? Because when this man of sin comes, right? When this man of sin comes, he's going to be, hey Mark, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. This man of sin is going to be like all these different religions and paths and all this stuff, right? Which is just other forms of Satanism, are all going to lead to this guy, right? This this man of sin, right? And and everyone's going to be happy that their Messiah is here, their person is here, the Savior is here, right? And we are going to be hated because we're going to say, no, this isn't the guy, right? This isn't the guy because it's written in the book, right? And the book is done. It's a completed story. We know the ending, right? And even the very elect would be deceived if that were possible. Now, who do you think the very elect are? Do you think you could be deceived by that? No, because we know, right? And and how did I end up being in that group of people, right? How did we end up being in this group, right? I I don't deserve any of this. I'm happy to have this knowledge of the flat earth, and I'm happy to be able to tell now that the news is kind of fake. Well, it is fake. I'm happy to know that a lot of things in history didn't happen, right? All the hoaxes and all that stuff. Right? I'm glad that I get to know that stuff. It's exciting, right? To know that stuff and to not be fooled by it. And a lot of times just grateful that people didn't get hurt, right? And and yeah, it's great to have that knowledge, right? But why us? Why why were we able to know it and other people aren't? They don't even seem interested. And then the ones that will kind of listen get so triggered, right? Like, what? I know that God knew what was going to happen to me before I was even created. I mean, you can't add any information to God, right? Like, He knew what was going to happen to me before I was ever a thought, I mean, I always was in God's memory and thoughts and actions, right? Like, you always were an idea of God's, right? It wasn't something that came out of nowhere. God is everything. He has everything, right? He's everything. And you were always part of that, you know? And so, why are we the ones that make it, right? Why? I know that everyone has an equal shot at being, um, an equal shot at getting grace by faith, by believing in the finished work of Jesus Christ, right? But not everybody does it. It seems simple, but many, 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 many people are not going to go down that road. And it's simple. And then because it's so simple, and because of the weight of what I know that I'm getting after I die, right? Or maybe I never die. Maybe He comes back and I just change, my body changes in the blink of an eye, like it says in the Bible, right? Gaining wisdom, I'm going to give you a wrench. And it's like we have a lot to feel grateful for. But here's the thing: it's kind of a curse in a way because we have all this knowledge that we could pass on, right? It's stuff that we know. You know what I mean? And I have a kid out there that's not saved, and it's hard for me. Like, I have the knowledge to tell him a lot of things, to skip him over a lot of mistakes, and to really help him maximize what he gets out of this life until it's over, and to tell him what it's all about. I mean, it wasn't until my 4 years ago, I was already a Christian, probably 15 years, but 4 years ago I started to see all the truth. flat Earth, all this stuff, right? And and um, since then, right, my faith has been so strong in God, right, that that I don't have these feelings of like, oh, I'm this old and I have this much time left and I've only accomplished this much, right? I don't even think about that anymore. I used to feel like a failure, you know? I mean, I've even been to college and have a pretty decent education. I don't have really a degree to, I have a little software degree, but nothing really like, nothing really to like brag about, right? I always felt like a failure, like I hadn't accomplished enough, or I'm running out of time, or I'm starting to understand my own mortality, or whatever. Now I don't have those feelings anymore, because I know my life is just for God. It doesn't mean anything else to any for any other reason. I'm here for God, right? And it's what I do for God that gives me fulfillment, right? Like I like being like my gifts, right, that I think God gave me are like I'm good at encouraging people and I'm good at listening to where I understand people, where I want to understand about you, right? Where most people don't, Most people don't care. They just want to move on with their life. They want to say, "Hi, how you doing?" And they want you to say, "Yeah, I'm doing great." And they want to say, "Good, good, good." That's great. See you later. And that's what they want. That kind of reaction, that kind of interaction with you. And I think one of my gifts is that I want more than that. You know, I want I want to have better communication, right? Like when I leave, like this is what's crazy, right? If I leave something on the floor, right, well, I'm not in a relationship now, but let's say I was in a relationship, I leave something on the floor, and they say, "I'm tired of picking up after you," right? Like I'm the type of person that says, "You know what? I understand how you feel having to say that to me, and and you know what? I'm gonna try to do it differently for you," right? I don't know why I'm that type of person that does that instead of saying stop nagging me or stop bothering me. Why do I instantly relate to how you feel? And I used to always kind of pay for it because I didn't know how to use that gift because I used to let people take advantage of me a lot, you know? And I still kind of do in some ways, right? But now that I know how to use that, for not just my benefit but for your benefit too, right? Because I also learned that abuse doesn't always have to be um, something bad, right? Like if if I'm giving people gifts that they don't want, right? That's abuse. That's abnormal use. They don't want what I'm giving them, right? I could be giving somebody a diamond ring every day, and if they don't want it, that's abuse. They're like, oh, well, here's this guy. I don't want that ring. I don't want what comes with that. I don't want to have to feel grateful for that. I don't want that, right? Like, there's ways of being abused that aren't necessarily bad, right? And like, I try to learn that word. Like, what is abuse, right? It's abnormal use, right? Like, you don't want to abnormally use another human being, right? I don't even know why I'm on this tangent, but I just know that I'm nothing without God, right? And everything starts with that. If I'm going to have an interaction or a relationship with somebody, it has to start with that, right? Now, like I used to really want this road to be wide to get in here, right? Because I wanted to catch every fish, and tell everybody the truth, But now it's getting to protection mode, right? Well, I got to start protecting people. I got to start protecting who's in here. And maybe we don't let 40 new people in at a time to where the 10 that are in here now get pushed out and mistreated, right? Maybe we let one or two new people in come in at a time, and we work with them until they understand what's going on, because I'm not here to offer anybody anything less than the truth, and I'm not here to offer anything more, right? I'm not the one who saves anybody. It's all God, right? God saves you, right? I'm going to plant a seed, right? These things are true. If you want to research them, go ahead. Don't believe me. Go find out for yourself. Ask the brothers and sisters in this chat, right? Places to go for you to look these things up, right? And really, if you put all the truth channels together, the transgender agenda, right? The inverted gender, right? That's uncomfortable to talk about, but it's a big deception going on, right? The fake news, right? We the flat Earth, all this stuff, right? You'll find specialists, right? That they specialize in one or the other, right? But we need to bring it all together, because when you bring it together, right? All that all that right, exactly, Mark. Here's the thing, right? It's 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 if you put all the truth together, it leads to Jesus, right? And that's what it needs to be, right? And so, yeah, while the flat earth is true, right? There's people that specialize in flat earth, and that's all that's important to them is the flat earth, right? And that's not the right answer. I mean, yes, it's obviously flat and it's obviously not moving, and yes, you could find that out for yourself, right? But it's a seed that you plant that if somebody wants to go look it up, they do, right? But it is the truth, and I will talk about it, right? But yeah, you're right. Sometimes people come at you crazy, and and I want this to be a chat that where all truth leads to Jesus. That's really the ultimate truth. All the lies and deception out there are to keep you from getting your grace to go into heaven, right? Because they want you to think it's some kind of works you have to do, or some kind of formula you have to follow, or some kind of, or maybe you get nothing at all. Maybe these people don't like us. Whoever is running the world, right, doesn't like us. I call it Satan, right? The accuser, the opposer, right? The adversary, right? This is what's happening, right? The people that run this world don't like us, right? And I just want to say that it's just crazy, man. I mean, it's just crazy that there's people on this earth that don't like us so much that they'd rather us believe that we come from a monkey, and they teach us this as when we're babies, man. We're just babies. And we're born on this earth, right? We all should get an equal share of it, right? And that's not how it is. There's imagine if all of us were alive and everyone put us in here, right? And we all got here together at the same time, right? And then 1% of the people wanted to own everything, and the rest of the people don't get anything, right? That's what's happening, right? I don't know whose idea it was to give all the gold away in exchange for paper that we get to trade with each other. I don't know who made that deal and why I got to suffer for it. I don't even know why anybody would why does money have to even be based on all the shiny stuff in the world? Why is gold worth anything? What are we really doing on this earth, man? It's all a joke. I mean, even yeah, it sucks that our money's not based on anything anymore, and that we don't even have the shiny stuff they say is worth something. But why is even that shiny stuff worth anything? What are we doing, man? This world got so far removed from how we're really supposed to be that it's just horrific, man. It's just absolutely horrific. And thank God we have the Bible, right? If we didn't have the Bible, then how would we even know how to act and get out of here? I mean, yes, I could probably live forever and be fine, right? Like I'm happy right now, right? But if I have a choice of, do I want God to come back today? Of course I do. Of course I do. I know that there's something better made for me, because God, with us in mind, you, and He has a better for you. You're His idea. You are God's plan. You are His. He knows every detail about you, every hair on your head. He even knows about your private stuff, right? He made you perfect the way you are, and He wants to spend eternity with you. Hey, James, I'm glad you're here. I really do appreciate your support, James. Over the years, you've been a good friend. I think I've known you since the beginning. And you know, and I don't know, Paula, if I'm like, you know, out of line or whatever and what I've been saying, but that's how I feel inside. That's what God feels like to me. Yeah, there's buffers whenever I'm telling some life-saving truth because the devil doesn't want that. The algorithm picks it up. Am I live? Am I still live? Am I still live, guys? Yes or no? Am I still live? Tell me if I am. Nope, I don't think I am. I think they started me on a new stream or something. Am I live? Am I back? Am I back? Hey, man, that's a miracle that I'm back. I don't know how that even happened. I know that we got wiped out, and I hope that it's still working. You know, please message me if it's still working. But anyway, you know, I love you guys, and I'm glad you're here, and I want to protect you guys. You know, and I want you guys to protect each other. Oh, my internet's being hacked. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Be good. Bye.